Okay, I'd like to call to order the Shellfish Advisory Board meeting Tuesday, August 26th. The time is 17:34 hours. So if we could start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Okay, keep things moving along historically. The first order of business for us tonight is the update by Captain Bill Chase, who is the Director of Marine Services. Captain Chase.
Well, Mr. Chair, normally we start with the balance of the Shellfish Propagation Fund. I tried to get that all afternoon, but the reason I could not get it is that Joanne and Nicole are in the process of swapping over all their information from one website to the new town website. So they literally could not get that number. So I don't know what it is, but I'll certainly supply that to you as soon as I get it. One number that is really important to all of us is that out of 5,000 bushels that we are contracted to purchase, we've planted 2696 as of this afternoon. And the breakdown goes like this. We've got 82 and a half at Judy's Island. That was just the one day that we planted up there. We've got 868 at David Road right now. We've got 1,053 at Half Moon East, and we've got 592 in Half Moon West, which means we've got 2,304 more bushels to go. If you use December 3rd as the ending date, which is what we used, which is what it was last year, you've got 69 more days to go.
Cap, just back up on Half Moon West. What was the number there?
Half Moon West is 592.
592? Thank you.
So theoretically, we have 69 more days if you use December 3rd as your cutoff again. And if you use an average of 60 bushels per day, we only need like 39 more days to make that happen. So initially, I thought there was no way we were going to make the 5,000, but I truly think we can now. I know that the average day, and I wanted to chart this out before I got here, but I just didn't have time. We've had a number of, going back just a year, 2 years, when I first got involved, there were a lot of 100 bushel days, 90 bushel days. Now they seem to be stuck in the 60, 70 bushel range. Bruce is kind of a mind that, well, maybe we're starting to make a dent in whatever biomass is up there in the Taunton River. Whether he's right or wrong, I don't know. But today, I think today was pretty good. It's 74 bushels today. He didn't have any breakdowns. He's had his share of maintenance issues, I can tell you that much. But today was just basically a clean day for him. So if 74 is the magic number, we're good to go to get the 5,000 by December 3rd, assuming that's...
Any idea how many days you've got logged in for this 2696?
I should know that.
Is it roughly divided by 60? I mean, probably how you come up with the 60.
Well, I just come up with the 60 because of the last few weeks.
Average.
That's kind of what
Yeah.
it's been averaging.
Yeah.
So the-
You're over halfway there.
We're over halfway there. Yeah. So you've got 2,300 more to go.
Yeah,
So we're over
that's
the
good.
hump. And to me, the question for everybody here tonight should be, where do you want to put them? Because, we have a lot of discussion on the relay boat on the way out and on the way back, just kind of general thinking of how we should proceed. I guess the question really is, what do we want to do with Judy's Island? Because if you've got only 2,300 left, you could literally put all of those in Ram Island if you wanted to. right? 2,300
Yeah,
would
it's big.
fit there, it'd be kind of plugged. So the question, I think, for all of us is, where do we want to go with this? You want to just say, well, forget Judy's Island, let's just stick to Ram Island and Great Island and David Road, basically the East Branch? Or do we want to just continue like we've typically done, just, load up Judy's Island when we can? The question is, what do you want to do with 2,300 more bushels of cohogs? Where do you want to put them? And when do you want to open those relay areas? So that is a question you guys have to answer, not I. I know it falls upon me to say it's going to be here, here, or here, but I think in the same light that Chris always approached this as, whatever you guys feel you want to do is what I will do, and I feel that's the correct approach. So I'm just throwing the numbers out, 2,300 more to go. Where do you want to put them? And I know the guys are interested in Shiprock. When are we going to open that? So that's what I know.
Okay, but to that, in that vein, one thing that we should probably talk about, everybody here that fishes, getting up into the West Branch right now has been problematic due to
Right. I
standing in.
I think getting more up there when the tide allows, which would be maybe the end of this week, next week for sure,
Next week.
to get there when the tide allows.
Right. But as far as the harvest goes, it really reduces your ability to harvest up there if you can only go a couple of hours either side of a high tide. Give or take. I mean, I'm just throwing that
I
out.
think people would find a way to get there and back.
Just for discussion.
Yeah, no, I understand that
Yeah.
the access is not what it used to be,
Right.
but
And I
it's
think-
still there.
It's still accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that point, Chris, I think we want to decide, what do you want to do with 294 River Road? It's a small area. It's obviously very tidal. Do we want to continue to plant there as well, or do we want to just say, it's too much of an issue?
Well, Chris, to that, we had not planted that for a while, and then
And then-
a few years ago, we threw them in there, and then
Yeah, and then he put some in there.
that's a tough spot. But, I mean, I don't know,
I think they might be better off on the other side there.
at Judy's.
Yeah.
But you are planning on building up Ram Island?
I think ultimately, Frank, we should. Yeah.
This year?
Well, the question, so there's 2,300 left. So my question to all of you is, what do you want to do with them? Where do you want to put them? Because whatever this
How many in David?
committee comes up with, that's where we're
And
going.
that's a big area.
What's that, Dean? Well, so the whole David Road thing, so out of the 800 that we've put there, almost 900 now, we've kind of been right in the moorings really tight. So Kevin and I put 3 balls out there when we decided we're going to stop planting David Road. And they're right close into the channel. The reason they're there is that I wanted to make sure that the kids who live there know that there are contaminated shellfish here. There's plenty of room to the east of where those balls are. And what we planted today was basically right in line. So I rely on Chris and Jay White, yourself, where do we put these? I think Chris said we can go east of where those buoys are, there's plenty of room there.
There's a
So,
lot of room. It gets pretty soft though, doesn't it?
It's broken, but it's not.
It gets soft.
It's
I would,
Bad over there.
Yeah, it's,
I would definitely check it though,
yeah, it's
before you dump.
diggable.
You can't go too much further north.
River Road is muck.
You can't go too much further north of there. And
Yeah, River Road is kind of dangerous. You can easily get stuck there. and
Yep.
it's not-
Yeah, actually, Jay fell over there last year.
They live to dig again.
We got stuck there last winter.
Yeah.
Couldn't get out.
Yeah, it's,
The mud's so soft, you can't push the boat. You step down, you step right down your knee.
That's like September.
It is pretty.
So do you guys think that like 294 River Road should just be like,
Yeah, that one, maybe
Get it?
consider getting rid of, in my opinion.
so where do
Judy
you,
Island is a lot diggable, yeah.
It's accessible.
Inaccessible, diggable, good bottom.
And 294 is, we've gone in there to plant at high tide and kicked up the mud, you know, so,
Yeah,
It's kind of like the
yeah, it's, well, maybe, Cap, we should talk with
Terry,
biologists about,
Terry,
yeah, Terry about closing down 294.
just, well, I mean, we don't have to act on it at all. Just say, it's there, but we're not.
Yeah, if you
using
want
it.
to dig, you want to dig, but
Yeah, put it on standby.
Even Judy's Island, it's like for him to pass on it this year, or next year. Stay in the East Bay.
So the question I have for everybody is, out of the 2,300 that's left, where do you want to put them?
Couple of few hundred more at David Road. Couple.
And then
get at
dump the
least
rest at
1,200
Ram Island.
In David Road,
Yeah, Grandma.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Dump 300 at David Road and
so
2,000 at Ram
Would
Island.
be
yeah.
closed. We'd close Ram Island.
We can close Graham Island with a phone call.
We can close it 3 days, 2 days, that will come out.
There's no sense of closing it, so we go to David Road, once we're done. David Road, close it and do the rest right there.
So if we were to put, if we
20,
were to put 300 up at David Road, and that leaves us 2,000, put 2,000 in Ram Island, is that kind of what
That'd
you're
give you-
saying, Chris?
that would cut out Judy Island.
Yeah, that cuts out Judy's Island.
Goody.
That's fine.
So you want to put a couple of hundred more up in Judy's Island?
So
Maybe you should put them in Judy's, because Judy's only has 82 and a half bushel in there.
that was one day, Skip. We don't.
Yeah, so maybe you put 300 or 400 up at Judy's, and then the rest on Ram Island.
Just to say you got some up there.
Yeah, and that would kind of even it out, because right now Judy's Island only has 82 and a half bushel. Everything else has, the least amount is 600.
So that'd leave us about 1,900 to go back into,
That's a good idea, because that would leave Ram Island open just for a little longer. Guys,
Yeah,
there you go.
to clean it up.
to clean it out. Now,
Knowing that it's gonna close in another couple of weeks, so just hit it now.
Yeah.
Clean it up, then we can plant it.
So now,
And then we open Sunk Rock
Yeah, then you could do that, exactly. That's a good idea.
sometime in beginning of October.
Yeah.
would you take us up,
What do you open first, Shiprock or,
Shiprock, yeah.
yeah, before, Half Moon?
that'll take us to Half Moon.
That would take it,
Christmas.
you know, I don't believe there was more than, what, 600?
Yeah.
About 600,
Plus it's
and
tough.
a lot of them, I don't think make it in that hard bottom.
Well, Half Moon?
No,
On Shiprock,
chips,
yeah.
Sunk Rock there,
Yeah,
it's pretty tough.
That's a tough spot.
it is.
So is it safe to
It's pretty
say
hard bottom, isn't it?
that for
Shelly Rock.
the purposes of discussion, we'd take 300 or 400, put it up on Judy's Island, the remainder that we have for this year, put it into Ram Island, and then, Chris, what you were just saying, we can open Sunk Rock, which would take us up to just before December. And then in December, we open Ram Island, we
Yeah.
open Half Moon,
Yeah, we opened that in the end of the first week, I think,
yeah, of December.
yes.
Now, how much is in Half Moon?
Total,
Right now-
Frank, it's about, so east side is 1,053, and the west side is 592, so it's 600,
1,500.
1,600 bushels.
1,500 bushel.
16, 40.
There's plenty of work there.
So if we put, let's say for the sake of argument, and make it smooth, we put 300 more at Judy's Island,
Yeah.
so that'd be roughly 400. So there's another 2,000 left after that.
Yeah, and we put that into Ram Island.
All of it, it's right, do we, so, you gotta think about Great Island now, what are you gonna do there? Right, so do you wanna take the whole 2,000 and put them into Ram Island?
How many did Ram Island have this time? When you opened it this time, how many?
I think it was 16, 17.
Yeah,
I say load it up, Graham
went into Ram Island?
That's one of the best places to dig.
And it's unconditional,
Right.
so you don't have to worry about rainfall.
Yeah.
There's no closure there.
That's the thing with Great
Easy access.
Island, it's closed a lot.
Well, Dean, you make a good point, because it's in, Great Island's into point two.
It's closed a lot.
So we get into a rainy.
Yeah,
run,
yeah. It'll be
Guys
closed.
are out of business, you know, so.
And it's so deep in some spots there, you have to be one of the best guys to get them.
Yeah.
Jam, it's really brutal.
We used to dump them north of the 1 inch area, south of the 1 inch area. Part of the Great Island relay is in the 1 inch area, and for some reason Chris stopped. So next time we start doing the Great Island again, we should put some south of,
South of the line.
On,
Yep.
the end of the island there.
Where's the line, Ron?
South of Gunning Island?
Where's the line, Ron?
Gunning Island, the north side of Gunning Island.
The north side of Gunning Island, so the little gutway between there?
The cut is, yep.
Yeah, I don't know, what's that, Silver, is that Penny Heights or Silver's Lane, or all those called?
Yes.
You go through and you take a left and go north. You got Great Island on your left and Petty Heights on your right.
It gets rocky at Gunning Island, though.
I went the other day, one part of it's really muddy, we used to put them over near the moorings, which was really
Yeah.
nice digging,
Yep.
but then people started bumping into the poles. Well, we could look around for spots.
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
Right, so it sounds like the consensus is 300 more at Judy's, 300 to 400 more, the rest right in Ram Island.
300 more at David Road,
David Road, I'm sorry.
yeah.
And then a few hundred at Judy's Island, the rest at Ram Island.
Yeah.
That's easy.
So that leaves us 1,500.
Well, so you've got 2,300 to go.
Right, so we put 300, another 3 in David Road, 3 up in Judy's Island, that's 600.
That's,
So
yeah,
that leaves us 1,700.
yeah, that's a good amount for that.
For Ram Island.
Ram Island, and if we save that for last,
Yeah.
say, we could keep it open till the end of October,
Yeah.
right?
You keep it open now until the end of October.
Yes,
Yeah, and then shut it down.
do it, yeah, seed it last.
Yeah. And we worry about Great Island another time,
Next year.
next
Yeah,
year.
next year.
Okay.
Right, so if I've got this all right, 300 to 400 more at Judy's Island, another 300 at David Road, the balance in Ram Island.
Balance at Ram.
So the question is, guys, when do you want to shut down Ram Island? Is everybody in agreement that it's all done?
Well, Chris just made a point.
Probably after you get the 600 planted.
Yeah.
Once you get the 300 at Judy's planted, and then the 250 or so at David Road, you should probably contact the state so you can close the area down. That'll take 2 or 3 days, and you can finish off on.
Actually, you know, Skip, that, I think Rick and I have found it, working with Terry O'Neill, if there's an issue, you need to close something, open some, whatever it is, the phone call does it all.
Yeah,
And then the official
and
document.
he just sends out the email, boom, done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's officially closed.
So we can concentrate on David Road right now, Judy's Island right now, and then when we get through those numbers, then we close Ram Island and go
Yep.
over and load that up.
Yeah.
And that may be a little bit earlier, but we have to balance this with weather and Bruce
And-
and all that other.
That's only 10 days.
Well, in tide cycle,
70 bushel a day has 10 days.
So the next one's gonna open in October.
well, that's the next,
Yeah, that's on the agenda
That's-
here.
for the chairman of the board
Well-
to decide.
Figure the beginning of October for Sunk Rock we're talking about.
Why not?
That's another,
It's been, this is.
Half Moon is-
Christmas.
Half Moon is Christmas,
Okay.
So,
pretty much.
let me make one little statement, this is kind of important. The issue came up one day, I think I don't know where we were going. How many days do we need in advance to open an area. So COVID plays into this a lot. When all of that happened, the state kind of relaxed all of the requirements for how long does the quahog have to be on the bottom before we get to open it up. So the COVID regulations, if you want to call them that, said that 60 days is enough. In other words, you plant a contaminated quahog in the COVID area, you've got 60 days to let it sit, and then you can open it up again. Take away the COVID issue, it's 1 year. So I was informed by Terry O'Neill that, and he went to his higher-ups, he said that COVID relaxation, if you will, is still in place. And that will be in place until the end of the calendar year. After that, who knows where it's going. So whatever we're doing right now, we have 60 days to say, we planted these, we've left them alone, now we can harvest them. After the end of 2025, I don't know where that's going, but that's what I know right now.
Is it gonna, did he say it's going to 90? Is that what Terry said?
He didn't say. All he mentioned was the COVID relaxations.
It's gonna end.
60.
It used to be 90.
Yeah, I thought it was 90, right?
It was 90.
Yeah.
And then
It's actually the.
a lot of the time, they used to leave it,
61.
they used to leave it 6 months, double the time required, just because they could. But lately, the last 10, 15 years, it's gone right down to the, when it's eligible to be opened, a lot of times it is. More fishermen,
The big concern was, I think when CB and I were talking about, we were heading over to Half Moon Flat, and he's like, well, okay, we're gonna dump these here, how long do they have to sit? I didn't know the answers, so I went to Terry O'Neill, and I got the answer. It's not 60, it's actually 61 days.
61.
61, they gotta have 60 plus a day. Yeah, that's the way the game is played, I guess. But that's where we are right now. So whatever we have in the river is subject to the COVID relaxation regulations, which makes it easy for us to manage as far as what do you want to
Yeah.
open and when you want to open, right?
Right.
I mean, I think our schedule right now, Cap, is we're well within the 60 days, all of our areas, we're good to go.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Because of the cycle that we've been planning.
They're eligible to be opened before they are,
Right, exactly.
which is a good thing. They get a little extra time, you know, if it's 90 days, they're in there instead of 61. Be a little bit cleaner.
How about October 2nd to Tuesday
For Shiprock.
for Shiprock? Okay, that's about a month, a little over a month.
Yeah, that's not far.
How about, does the meat have to be tested at Shiprock? So that hasn't been done.
Well, Terry's coming out to do a water test anyway,
And
so,
they gotta test the meat before you open.
right.
Right.
So,
He could do that at any point, I
At
believe.
any point, yeah.
You're already past the 61 days, right?
Yeah, it's been more like 360.
Oh, it's been that long, okay. So, yeah, you can do it anytime.
Yeah, we did it
We'll tell him
we
we want-
seeded that last fall.
They're
We'll tell
definitely
him we-
ready to
Actually, we'll
go.
do it all at once. We
That's
can do-
clean, clean water there.
We can do Shiprock a meat test as well as Half Moon. 'Cause Half Moon's been there for, that's good to go. I guess I can, is there a window that Terry has?
I don't know the answer to that question, Chief, but it probably is.
Okay, but we'll get him on the horn Thursday and we'll square it away. Okay, anything else, Cap?
Was there anything put up on the bank against the bank? Or was
Yes.
it all over the edge?
No, it's on the,
Yeah.
there's some on the bank,
Yeah.
For sure.
that-
Not much.
On the south, on the south end, and then about halfway up, there's a shoal spot.
Yeah.
So there will be some for
A while.
this hand digging. It's not, it's not gonna last, but I think to make the jump to half moon, it'll keep guys busy.
And the reason we started going over there, because it was tides too low to get into the other spots.
Right. Most of it is over there.
Well, since we're talking about, it was another agenda item, we're talking about Ship Rock. Do you want to discuss Half Moon while we're here, an opening day on Half Moon? You know, might as well do it, right?
The days are just clicking off here.
Half Moon for Christmas?
Would either be Saturday, the 6th, or Tuesday, the 9th of December.
For where?
Half moon.
Half
I
Moon.
say not Saturday. I say not Saturday. That's fine.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think a Tuesday's better.
Yeah.
I mean, we open it on a Saturday, we're
Yeah.
gonna get
And I think
traffic off.
maybe a little later would be more apt to be, like the market might be better a little closer to Christmas. Guys would be, hopefully things would be ramping up, but
But there's a lot of stock, shell stock in there, so it would take them right through Christmas anyway. You hate to have them lose the benefit, you know, and then going into, get beyond Christmas and keep going from there. So what did you say, what'd you say?
I think the
The 6th?
Why not the second?
9th is a Tuesday, December. We can go tentative on that. I mean, we could,
Why not the second? Because if you go the 9th, it's only 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good point, Skip.
If you go the second, then they get 3 full weeks to
right.
fish.
I'm with the second.
that,
Yeah.
all right,
The ship's not gonna be all over before that.
yes. Oh, yeah, that'll be over before it begins. So,
And it'll be cold, they won't want to fish much, you know, after Christmas, guys will be.
we got shut off, or the relay ended on December 2nd last year.
I think it was the 3rd, but.
Yeah,
we-
yeah, it's
one of
pretty-
those.
But that was temperature
Yeah,
related, wasn't it?
that's a variable with the
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah.
The state could, I mean, it could be as early as,
Could be
you know,
earlier,
third week in November.
If it's cold,
You
yeah.
know,
or
then,
could be a little
The
later.
weather's a little better.
I mean, because once we get to 45 degrees water temperature, they're gonna shut us off. So,
We shoot for the second.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, second's my goal.
okay,
Okay, just for.
Tuesday?
This is a,
Yeah.
just for clarification, we're gonna open Ship Rock on 10/2, which is a Tuesday.
Yep.
And Half Moon on 12/2, which is a Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take this out of order. Do I hear a motion?
move to open them.
Second.
Rock, October 2nd at 0800. And Half Moon Flat, December 2nd at 0800.
I'll second that.
Second?
Yep.
Okay.
The second, you know, we're hoping for better weather. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion? Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, thank you. Now, Cap, can we get back to your report?
What else do I have to tell you, Chief? I gotta tell you one thing. The Gary Sherman skiff, you're gonna be seeing that boat out and about. One of the things I wanted to do when I took this job was to separate again the Harbor Masters issue from the Shellfish managers issue. And Rick has taken over all of that, including Gary's skiff that we all know so well, which has now got the Shellfish lettering on the side of it. So, as I've said in the past, the era of no enforcement is over. So Rick has been out and about already, just dropped $400 on safety equipment for him so he can have everything he needs on that skiff. So you're going to see a level of enforcement, I would say a kind level
Oh, you already had one.
Present.
going forward.
You're married.
So I think that's very important. It keeps it fair for everybody. I mean, 3 bushels is 3 bushels, 3.5, 3 3/4 is not 3. So I know Rick has a passion for this. So he's your man. You're going to see that green skiff out and about. And that can only help all of us. Aside from that, boy, there are a lot of, not just commercial diggers, there are actually 33 commercial licenses that have been issued in the town of Westport in 2025 so far. It could be a couple more, I don't know. There are north of 300 family permits that have been issued already, so it's not just that we have to keep an eye on the commercial guys for the sake of fairness. We also have to keep an eye on the family types who really don't know much about how the river is structured. And I think that's an issue Rick and I have talked about, that we have to hopefully solve through community outreach. Because we have so many people that come down to the shack and say, hey, can I go and dig here? Can I go and dig there? They just don't get it, they don't understand it. So we have to spend some time to reach out to them. And I guess my comment to the commercial guys is if you see some of the recreational types where they shouldn't be and it's obvious, call. We will respond. But it's part of what will ultimately become a community outreach program to make sure they all know where they can and cannot go. I mean, when you think about it, you get 7 shellfish relay areas. You've got 2 large aquaculture sites. And everything else that's going on, there's a lot going on in this one. So I guess I'll just end it with this. Community outreach is definitely on our agenda so that we can help everyone understand where they should and should not be. So beyond that, I feel like we have a grip on everything that's going on here. It's been a big lift for Rick and I to get involved in the way we did, in the time frame that we did. But I think we've really got a grip on all of this. So you're going to see a kind approach to enforcement, but a fair approach to enforcement. Things like 8 o'clock in the morning, when things start and they don't start, you can expect to see Rick there in that green boat again, which I think is wonderful. But the most important thing we need out of all of this is input from all of you. Chris had always approached this as whatever you guys see fit, I'll follow. I think that is the approach that I should take as well. So whatever feedback I get is where we go. So back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Captain. Historically, we've never had to take a vote to accept the update, so I'm not going to call for a vote. We'll just accept it, and I want to thank you for your input. These numbers are good, and thanks for your input on when we're going to open, because this is all of us. To get this done, keep this river moving, keep this program moving as well. So having said all that, moving on to agenda number 3. I have, there's a couple of extras if you want, but I have in my hand here, we last year, I shouldn't say last year, back in July or June, we accepted the resignation of Captain Chase from the board due to his position as Director of Marine Services, so we've had a vacancy. And quite frankly, it's my fault that we haven't called for a meeting, and I take that as my responsibility. So having said all that, we have asked for applications or letters of interest for people. We received only one, and it came from Ron Savaria. I think you might know that name. Ron has sent a letter to us requesting that he be appointed by the Select Board to fill the open position on the Shellfish Advisory Board. Just ad-libbing off of here, according to this letter, Ron, who has served this board for many, many years, and as chair of many, many years, he took on the heavy lift after John Borden stepped aside and prior to his passing. He's lived here for 65 years. He's been on the river probably every day of those 65 years. I know I can't Today was the first day I don't think I saw Ron on the river. I might have missed him. But anyway, he's interested in preserving and enhancing the shellfish for the rivers, and both for the recreational and the commercial fishermen. He asked to be considered for this position. So I throw that out, and personally speaking, whether we had 10 letters or not, I think that my position is, having worked with Ron on a number of different projects around town, and having served on this board while he was chair, I would like to entertain a motion that this board approve and further recommend to the select board that Ron Savaria be brought forward to come and join us on the Shellfish Advisory Board.
I'd like to move that we recommend to the select board that Ron Savaria take the open spot on the Shellfish Advisory Board.
Thank you, Chris. Do I hear a second? Second? Any discussion? Guess that's easy. All right, I'd like to have a vote. All in favor
Aye.
of the motion put forward? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. When I forward these minutes, I'll forward your name to the select board.
Hopefully the selectmen let you in.
By the way, we are looking for a secretary, so.
Oh.
Okay, there is an item here that came to me, believe it or not, from Ron. And it's a discussion of scallop dredging to see if any of last year's dispersal survived. I'd like to have a little conversation about that. I don't know if you remember, but I want to say the number, Ron, was at 38,000? Does that sound right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few. Quite a
Yeah,
few.
it was-
I went on one of the trips there, and,
We did 2 days, you remember, like the 50
yeah, two different loads.
Yeah. It was
A
last,
lot of animals.
when was it, last fall? Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
We just for the record, so everybody understands, we went out, we loaded up certain areas, Speaking Rock Channel, over by Ship's Rock, Sunk Rock, actually north of that, almost up by the, beyond the No Wake Buoy. We also threw some in down below the Fontaine Bridge and over in the area of Trips by the Westport Yacht Club. We dispersed somewhere around, if my memory serves me right, it was 38,000 seed. And so the request is, for discussion is, should we go out and do a little, should this board go out and do a little dredging to see if we've had any, if they threw any spat, if they grew, if they survived, or if they washed out the cutting hunk?
Survey.
Yes, so,
I had a question about that, and it was like, do we need authorization, or what, are there any loopholes we have to go through to keep it legal? You just can't go out there and throw a scallop drag over and see what's out there.
Right.
Well, my suggestion would be, I don't know if you're gonna wait till scallop season opens, but somebody on the board go with a commercial fishing, say like a Paul Woodley.
yeah.
That way it's fair, instead of just us going.
Yes.
So it involves, somebody on the board.
Yeah, we decide whose boat, whose drag, and
Like Paul,
who
Paul
goes.
Woodley's usually always set up, just no scallops or scallops. And just, see,
Yeah.
that way we don't waste our money next time.
Right.
Buy all that seed and it just, like you said, floats away, it gets eaten up by green crabs or whatever.
So I guess the discussion here is that we should push it off until October 15th, whenever we open scallop season.
Why don't you ask the guy that you call about the regs? Tim, you said?
Terry O'Neill.
Terry.
O'Neill.
He would know. I don't know, but I don't know why that would be a problem to do a
Well,
survey.
I'm
trial.
guessing
You're not
schedule-
keeping anything.
No.
You're throwing it back.
Just a survey. It's
It's just a survey. I don't think I could do it and then tell the warden that I'm just looking. But I think
Right.
the town can do it,
Yeah.
like,
Well, my guess is.
but I would ask Terry. I think he'd probably be the guy to say, yeah, you need a one-day permit, call me, blah, blah. Or he might just say, yeah, you do it, you have to have an official on board. You have to make sure that nothing gets kept, but you can't do it.
I think there's quite a few people who would like to be on that trip.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why don't I will, in my role, I'll be more than happy to call Terry. We talked to him frequently and see what he has to say. If we can, prior to, we'll go out, we'll do a survey, see what we come up with.
Well,
If we're restricted to any degree, then we'll follow the rules of,
or,
You can always go out
or
there.
not do anything. And when open the scallop season, then people can find out for themselves.
if another.
You can always look at low tide. You can get out with a quahog rake. It'll tell you everything you need to know. That's what we used to do. We'd be quahogging when we were kids, and we would see scallops and go, oh, gonna be scallops this year.
Yep.
Well, I would
While
say
cohogging.
to Ron's point, if we're gonna spend 20K for another batch of seed scallops, are we getting our money's worth? I mean, to what end is this project going?
I don't know if there's an answer to that, though, to be honest, because you do the same 38,000 or whatever it is, 2 years identically in a row on the same date, on the same tide, and you could get two different results. Just because of when they spat, they float, it can't rain. So my understanding has always been that when the scallop spat, the juveniles float for a period of up to 2 weeks before they actually bulk up enough to sink down. And when they sink down, that's when they grab the eelgrass. And in that period, it can't rain. Because when they are floating on the surface, fresh water floats on top of salt water. So now you've got the spat in fresh water from rain. So it's like a perfect storm of events. It's got to be the spat, with the heat isn't too much, it doesn't rain, the spat stays elevated, no fresh water kills it, it sinks, then it rains. You know, so I think that there's a lot of, if you look back historically on what years we had boom in the scallop and look back at the weather, 6 out of 10 times, not a high rate, but quite a good, it was a drought year the year before, you know, so it kind of has something to do with it.
Yeah, but we'd still like to see if those survive.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, I don't know as though that result should terminate a program. Like you say, are we gonna waste 20 grand? I don't know as though it's a waste. I think that if you have surplus money, I think it's worth throwing it at it until you don't have the surplus money. You know, shell stock is good for stuff like that, you know? Just my thought.
How much did we throw at it last year?
20-some thousand dollars.
20,000, it's
We
38,000.
don't even know if those survive, the ones.
No, we
that
don't.
survive.
Right.
5 days later.
I remember Chris struggling to spend the endowment. And I think that, you know, I wouldn't say struggling is the right word, but
Looking for-
searching for new ideas to spend. And so it worked out well because when you have extra, we were even talking about oysters, I think, Ron, at one point, which still could be something we look into. But I think it's a good idea. I think you're right. I think a guy like Paul was all set up with the right gear.
So as an agenda item, would it be prudent to say that we will talk with the state biologist to see what our options are and then move forward
Legally.
from there? Yeah, so that we don't, whatever. And then based on his recommendations, then we'll move on it. Does that sound
Yeah.
fair to everybody?
Have another meeting.
I hope Skip's right, because it was a drought year, so that means next winter will be scallop. I hope you're right.
Well, I think we dropped them last year when
No, I'm talking about
the spat. Well, hopefully they survived the winter, and then this year when they spat, it was a dry summer.
Yeah.
Hopefully that there's some, I haven't,
Because they went in last winter.
you know, usually I see scallop shells when there's gonna be scallops on the dock from the seagulls. I haven't seen any yet. Haven't really seen them.
My Uncle John used to say that all the time. That's how.
Okay, where it is an agenda item, do I have a motion to have a discussion with Terry O'Neill from the state on how we proceed legally, how we proceed to do a survey on the scallops that were deposited in the river last winter? Do I have a motion on that?
Sure, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion that we contact Terry O'Neill, find out what the procedure is for a test drag or a few test drags and find out if the scallop planting that we did earlier took.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Second, Dean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I bring it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's up to all of you, Dean.
What's that, Dean?
While we're talking
Right
about,
now, or
You mean as in planting?
just like, yeah, we're planting this year.
Not right now.
All right.
Not right now. But I think that we should probably take a look-see and see that if we had any success. If we didn't have.
should we set a date for the opening of scallop season tonight?
Isn't that state regulated? I believe that's October 15th.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think the selectmen
town.
have to-
It can't be before October
We
1st.
can
Right,
decide.
right. I was just gonna throw out the 15th, which is. a
It's
Wednesday.
usually around the time
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
usually mid-October. So we don't have to meet again.
Right.
Uh,
Do you want to have it after Columbus Day weekend or?
Yeah, it's usually right after Columbus Day weekend. And it traditionally, or not that we're traditionalists, but
Yeah, October 15th is a Wednesday, right?
yeah.
That works.
Yeah. I know sometimes they opened it on a Saturday for, so.
Rec.
that,
Recreational, but it
yeah,
has,
recreational will get into it.
maybe if it's a huge year, they might do that, but I
Yeah,
don't,
exactly.
think slim pickings.
I haven't seen any sign. It's not, I haven't heard anything, but.
It is, yes.
Yeah. So, let me move that into other
Motion?
unanticipated items, just so. So having said that, somebody want to entertain a motion for scallop season to open on
Yeah.
October?
Yeah, I move that we set Wednesday, October 15th as the opening day of bay scallop season in the Westport River.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of opening scallop season in the Westport River, town of Westport, on October 15th, Wednesday, October 15th, 2025?
Aye.
Aye, aye. Okay, unanimous.
Unanimous.
That has to go,
From Scotland from.
that has to go to the select board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so,
Yeah.
and the licensing, I'm not clear about either. I guess it's the same as
It's the same
same
procedure.
as it was. On the vein of spending money on the propagation, do we have an order for quahog seed from a grower?
I've come across a couple of documents where there was correspondence with Muscongas Bay. I don't know what the status of that particular order is right now, Chris.
Okay.
I don't think there was any money exchanged,
Yeah.
but my question is, if there is, where do we go with it? Because I really need some guidance from all of you as to where do we spend the money that's in the Shellfish Propagation Fund for scallops, for quahog seed, for whatever you want to do oyster-wise. So, all of that aside, where do we want to go forward with this? That's the question I have.
I think that's a point that we should probably wait until we do the survey, at least for the scallop side of the house. No sense buying scallop seed if it's not.
Right, no, I was really questioning about the quahog seed. I heard that there might have been
I
an
remember.
order placed,
I remember that.
placed for
Yeah,
however many seed.
I have
And
seen
if
the
that-
documentation.
And if that's still going to be happening.
Well, that aside, do we want to plant quahog seed in the river?
Well, it was another way to, say, diversify the the propagation fund, besides the relay and scallops.
And you know, we have to remember that, because without any shell stock this year, the propagation fund takes a little bit of a hit, because we're committed for 5,000 bushels at $28.50 apiece, right? So whatever we have in the propagation fund, minus what we've already paid out, minus what we still have committed, is the actual balance.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do with the balance? That's the question. So,
Yeah.
let's say, for example, there's $150,000 left. You want to spend 20K on scallop seed, you want to spend 20K on quahog seed, that's up to this board to decide and for me to execute.
No, I guess,
On top of the relay.
On top of the relay, right, so.
yeah, I didn't know if we had a financial commitment.
Not yet.
At this
Okay.
point, Chris, I
Okay.
don't believe we do.
Okay, so I would suggest, take your suggestion that we say back
that right?
off.
I
You don't
thought-
need
I
to-
thought that Chris
You don't need to
had
check,
bought some seed
Sunk Rock to Shiprock Sunk Rock.
I
Needs to,
don't know if he
yeah.
signed the papers, it didn't say.
Because I was gonna say, I
I'm not
had
sure it
hit
was
meat samples
fully
clean
executed.
because we're gonna open.
That's where I'm,
Look, in April, it was already done.
but I will
We
find
haven't opened it since April.
Okay, yeah, I think we should be on
Meat
top of
samples
that.
clean at
If there
Shiprock.
was an order, we should
On
be
April 7th, 25. You never
thinking
opened
about
it.
that.
Yeah, check with Terry on that. Never opened it.
So I have in my notes, Bill, on our meeting of April 7th, 25, that the meat samples were clean at Shiprock to Sunk Rock. So maybe Chris had those checked already, anticipating an opening of Shiprock to Sunk Rock in May, June, July, and it just never, it never happened, but I do have that the meat samples came back clean, so maybe one thing you don't have to do. It may have already been done.
In that,
They should
in that
still,
vein,
Did you put any in after that?
it was April 7th, so
I don't think so.
May, June, July.
Yeah.
Only 3 months, May, June, July. We're in August now.
the problem is we don't, record keeping. I'd like to have a record of that. I'd like to have a record that
Yeah.
says that.
I'm sure the state would have it.
Kind of tough to find.
They would have it.
Yeah.
They definitely would have it. And if they don't have it, then we just have them come down to get a sample.
So if I can get my hands on it from the state, it clarifies that. I know it was on 4/7, right?
Yeah, I have
4/7.
that. I have
Well,
that-
that's,
I have that also, that.
but, yeah,
Sunk Rock and Ram Island tested
meats were clean.
Yeah.
And Ram Island got opened.
Yeah.
but
So
Sunk Rock
That would just be
didn't.
a question for the
It
state.
just may be one less thing you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
And you might just be able to raise the flag and go.
Well, we had to have a meat sample because we opened Ram Island. It's been
Yeah.
open since
Right, right, but they did Sunk Rock at the same time.
at the same time. All right, I'll follow up.
But they may need to do it again.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
I have here.
The window has been so long.
So Ram Island must have opened up June 10th. It says here, Ram Island, good to go, June 10th, 8 AM.
Last year, yeah.
The 25, this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
April.
because I think Frank made the case, like, the slime's moving in, boys, we need to get on this fairly quick.
Okay, any other items you want to bring forward? Yes.
Is it okay to start to discuss the timeframe of when oysters opens? I mean, I don't know.
That's a state,
Date.
that's a state deal when they're, I think the water temperature,
Yeah.
and then the state has to test.
Right, has to be tested.
The window, I think, is November 15th. Anytime after that, that's all right? Or is it
Yeah.
November 1st, but it has to be tested at its water temperature?
Yeah,
Nothing can open until I,
It's been opening in December. right?
yeah.
Right. It's just that area's always closed.
well,
Yeah, it's because it's in a condition.
Yeah. It doesn't take much to close it.
yeah, unfortunately, it's in a too-tense area. So, I mean, last winter, how many days did we fish up there? 10, you know? I mean, it seemed like every 4 days we had rain, and it was always
This is-
2/10 of an inch. with a shovel.
Somebody runs a hose on their dock long enough, it'll close.
That's fishing.
Takes about 4 gallons of fresh water to close it.
But I just wanted to mention something that I learned from Maya from Harvest Point. oysters grow like crazy on these hats. So I don't know about the propagation fund or anything, but maybe up beyond, you know, when the guys can't dig them or anything, if there was some in there to start to get them to repopulate, I mean, that's what they use.
Yeah, that's
They use these
that's a
hats.
good idea to use.
They grow like crazy. I don't.
So Dina, these are the cement,
Yeah,
Little-
yeah. They
Yeah.
put them out, and in no time, they're loaded.
Yeah,
These
if
guys,
we-
these guys are big into oysters.
Right.
You know, one guy,
Yeah.
he has an oyster farm and a site, and they use hats a lot. I don't know if it's a consideration.
I mean, we'd have
for
to,
that area to try to get them to start, you know.
yeah, the
produce.
problem is north of Snell Creek, that's permanently closed because of
Well,
pollution.
yeah,
Not even to, you know, harvest, but to just get them to start to
Right.
repopulate.
Right.
You know, it might be something that would work, I don't know. Try.
Where was that, Dean? Wellfleet?
Well, yeah, there's one oyster farm in Wellfleet, and the other areas of the Cape, like, you know, basically the Lower Cape. I
Okay.
can find out more details. I'll wait, you know.
Karen might have some insight into that.
Yeah.
But it would be great to, I don't know if we can use propagation fund money for that, but I'm sure we could get enough interest to get something like that going. If it is in a, say, permanently closed area, we could throw them out there and possibly move them like a relay,
Right.
move them to a place where we could harvest them.
We could just flow the small area.
It's not a bad idea.
down For ourselves, and it'll be good right away.
It'd be great to get some habitat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're definitely
they-
not
well,
getting,
they-
we're definitely not getting ahead on
Yeah,
that.
they swear by it. They
I
swear
mean,
by it.
they grow well north of, between Hicksbridge and Snell Creek. The problem is we were overfishing them. I mean,
Yeah.
when we had 3 bushels and we had 15 guys, we were overfishing them. The math,
But even if it was a couple of years down the road, and
Right.
it started to spread seed throughout the area, it couldn't hurt.
and my question would be, with the spat thrown in a closed area, would that create an
Well,
issue?
On the west side of where we go oystering now, it's all mud, right? We put them along there.
Yeah.
Make a clean area,
Yeah.
so they'll always be.
North of Hicksbridge, you mean?
Yeah, just not Hicksbridge, on the west side
On the
of
west side.
everybody's.
Where the mud is.
Yeah, and like,
There must have been oysters there at one time, if you wait there, it fills up with all
Right, all
these dead
those.
oysters about this big.
I don't know, they told me about it, and it just popped in my mind.
Well,
Interesting.
Dean, thanks. I'll make a call down to Wellfleet and see what they say. Might have to go on a road trip.
Yeah, I'll find out, so I'll ask.
But-
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. Any other items you want to bring forward? Thank you for that, Dean.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have-
I second.
Okay, any discussion on adjourning the meeting? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned at 18:32 hours.
You know, the